Richard, we are going to bring some live bromance to Chicago for the 2018 Chicago Podfest Festival. So come on out, check us out November 27th. It's a Tuesday at 8:30 at the Beach Kitchen in Chicago, Illinois.
I am so excited. I've decided that everybody should have a gift basket.
Let me check our budget. Maybe gift maybe. We've got tons of bumper stickers, so yeah, it'll be a gift basket of bumper
stickers and bromance and free hugs.
But come out, it's the Chicago Pod Festival 2018. It's like I said, it's gonna be What About Chicago in the Language of Bromance at the Beat Kitchen in Chicago, Illinois. Tickets, Richard, only $12.
Oh my God, that's like $1 a month.
Yeah, you could. I mean, come on.
For the price of a cup of coffee, you could help struggling podcasters. I feel like we should post this. We should post this ad with a picture of our faces, and we should have little bugs on our face.
Yeah, for $1 a month.
You can do that though, because I don't like bugs.
That's true. But if you're free people, if you're free LB Army members, come on out, check us out. Like I said again, it's the Chicago Podcast Festival 2018, November 27th at 8:30 p.m. at the Beach Kitchen in Chicago, Illinois.
Help a struggling podcaster. In the arms.
Wait, we don't have the budget for that.
Oh shit! No gift baskets. No Sarah McLaughlin. How do you say it? I don't know. Go to the show. What's up, everybody? I'm Richard.
And I'm Shawn.
We're speaking the language of bromance.
Oh my gosh, Richard. So
tell me.
It's that time
Tell
of
me
year.
all the things.
It's fall. It's the macabre time of year.
Oh my God. Is it apple cider?
Yeah,
right?
Apple cider.
I knew it.
Yeah, I gotta get some Fireball, some apple cider, warm that up.
Fireball.
Good stuff. But Rich, this is the time of year where you get your friends around, you tell spooky ass stories and freak each other out, and then you sneak over their house and you bang on their windows while they're taking a shit. And guess what, Richard? Poop all over their house. I knew it.
This is yep. You have a cleaning bill to pick up, my friend.
But Richard, so we usually this time of year we try to find those scary stories. We got Broloween coming up next week, but this week we got a spooky tale that I found online, and it has all kinds of stuff into it. It has, escaped mental patients. It's got disappearance. It's got dead bodies. It's got all. It's like
Stand By Me.
Yeah, except scarier. Well, Stand By Me wasn't really scary until they were swimming in the water.
Yeah. Leeches!
Yeah. You're like, oh, shit. That made me not want to go in any kind of water because I thought that could happen anywhere.
I thought Jaws didn't make you want to go in the water.
I don't know, actually. That's a good point. Well, Jaws made me not want to go in the ocean.
Okay.
Stand By Me made me not go in any stagnant body of water.
Stand By Me told me to stay away from ponds. And then Jaws told me to stay away from the ocean. And then Lake Placid. That threw out lakes. Lakes are out now.
Psycho, can't take a shower.
Nope.
There's a scene in National Lampoons where Chevy Chase does that to the lead actress, and you see her boobies.
I know. I remember.
He does it with a banana. He's like,
you see in Psycho? Anne Heche's butthole.
Do you really?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Was that the first butthole on screen?
It might be. Well, maybe not on screen, but I don't know.
That Alfred
Just
Hitchcock
saying.
was one sick mofo, wasn't he?
No, that wasn't Hitchcock. That was in the remake, I think. The one with Vince Vaughn.
That's not as impressive.
Anne Heche wasn't in the original Psycho.
I didn't know who it was. Anyway, Richard, this tale takes place on the night of February 24th, 1978, when a group of 5 young men from Yuba City, California, all with mild mental or psychiatric issues, attended a college basketball game played at California State University, Chico.
Wait a minute. So there's a bunch of mental patients attending a basketball game.
They weren't necessarily mental patients. I think they probably should have been, But this is the late 70s. I think that's after they let all the mental people out, right? Like,
so they're like, okay, so this isn't like a field trip. I was thinking it's like a field trip. They're like let them all off the bus and like, okay, guys, everybody hold hands. Remember your buddy.
Oh, look, girl, I want to eat her heart. Oh, come on, Tim. What did we talk about?
No, don't eat your buddy's heart.
Can I
everybody
please eat your heart?
And don't bite fingers, including yours.
Looking at you, Shawn. Sorry, it's a mental condition.
It's called fucking crazy.
But afterwards, Richard, they stopped at a local market for snacks and drinks, and none of them were seen alive again. One of the group, Gary Mathias, who was born on October 15th, 1952, has never been seen again.
What about all the other ones? Were the other ones seen again? Did they ask them, hey, where's your buddy Greg? And he's like, I don't know. He chewed his fingers off and then we couldn't hold hands. I lost my buddy.
Let's get to that. I don't want to bury the lead on all that. So let's look at a little bit of the background of the one Gary Mathias. So Gary Mathias served in West Germany in the early 1970s. He was a Yuba City native, but he had developed a drug problem.
Oh, like you do.
Yep. So let's list him like his schizophrenia and then being psychiatrically discharged from the army.
Oh man, that's in the 70s. That's when like all the drugs were like fucking wicked.
Yeah, like double. Like, didn't you tell me like what they said like marijuana then compared to now? What the difference was?
Yeah, I you always hear conflicting stories. Like, are drugs back then, were they harsher, or are drugs now harsher because we've managed, because we've learned how to like refine and crossbreed on a plant species level, it's almost like it's like GMOs, but with weed, man.
Oh, we're genetically modifying our weed.
Yeah,
it's not an organic trip, man. It's a corporate trip.
Fuck yeah, man.
I hope we get reimbursed for this trip
by the evil Monsanto empire, which they're not Monsanto anymore. They're Bayer.
I heard that. Yeah, they got bought out.
Yeah,
they're the ones
and then
that
they changed
all the seeds in Antarctica.
They could have kept the name, but they changed the name because they're like, everybody fucking hates us. Let's change the name.
They're the ones that have all the plant seeds in Antarctica, right?
No, that's a completely independent body. You're talking about the seed vault?
Yeah.
That's a completely independent body because they're an independent body because if, let's say, the Bayer Corporation bought them out, then they're like, hey, let's just, take, because it's a company that genetically modified seeds, and you think they're going to just leave all those completely untouched seeds alone? Fuck no.
Let's see. So our man, Gary Mathias, returned back to his parents' home in California and began treatment at a local mental hospital. It was difficult at first, of course. He was arrested for assault twice and often suffered psychotic episodes, which landed him in the local Veterans Administration Hospital.
Did he have psychic episodes where he starts screaming and ranting and then he's like, I'm thinking of a woman, her name starts with a D, Doris, Dorothy, Darla, that's it, Darla.
She's your mom, sister, aunt, cousin, daughter,
cousin,
wife, cousin. Yes, cousin wife. No, just my cousin.
Wife.
I don't judge. Cousin wife. Let's go with that. Wait a second.
No, she's my wife. She's not my cousin. I heard cousin wife. They're saying cousin wife.
Hey, did you hear Greg is fucking his cousin? God damn it, Barry.
I didn't know she was my cousin until the guy that talked to her corpse told me. I didn't know.
So, let's see. So, Mathias supplemented his army disability pay by working in his stepfather's gardening business. This dude was married, at least. So, off the job, outside the family, is close with friends with the 4 other men who are mostly slightly older than he was.
So he hangs out with, he lives with 4 other dudes?
No, he's close friends with these 4 other dudes.
Okay.
Most of them, like I said, they're slightly older than he was, but they either had slight intellectual disabilities or were considered slow learners. So
damn, what's the fucking luck in that you're crazy and then you find 4 friends that are also
an excellent
crazy
point, Richard. You think about us. I've only found 1 friend.
Right. Me too.
Why'd you cancel on me last night, Richard? You son of a bitch.
Well, Because there's a lady that told me to. Her name was starts with a T. Tammy.
Tantha. Tara.
Tamantha.
Tara Reid.
Tabitha.
I knew it.
Tiffany? Is it No.
Wait a second. It's like, there's this woman that pays me to hang out with you, Shawn. Wait a second. That's my wife.
Cousin wife. Got it. She's your cousin wife.
No, she's not. Wait. You son of a bitch.
When in doubt, check the kid's toes.
So two of them had what they considered intellectual disabilities. One was Bill Sterling, who's 29. The other was Jack Hewitt, which was 24. And the two that were considered slow learners was Ted Weyer, who was 32, and Jack Madriga, who was 30.
Do you think that, so the guy's name was Tony?
There's Bill, Jack, Ted, and Jack. Well, there's two Jacks.
Okay. But
maybe there was two Jacks. Maybe it was just one person.
You would think that so they're individually crazy. So people refer to them as oh, there's crazy Bob, there's crazy. But then they all get together and then oh, it's crazy Bob, Jack, Tom, Tony.
Yeah. Well, what they referred to them as collectively, I guess this is what their parents called them. They called them the boys.
Oh.
So these are grown men, Richard. I mean, they were about our age, maybe just slightly younger, and they were called the boys.
Well, I mean, I don't see it. I don't see the harm in that.
Well, I mean, what do they call us?
The bros.
Yeah. See? Why do they call these guys the bros?
I don't know. Why to be fair, I mean, we're the only ones that call us the bros. So, I mean, it hasn't caught on, but it will. Mark my words. It'll catch on at some point.
So these five guys, they like sports. So their family said that when they got together, they usually play a game or they'd watch one. So they play basketball together, or they go to a local basketball game. There's a team called the Gateway Gators, which the team was sponsored by a local program for mentally handicapped people. So these guys had borderline mental handicap going on, I guess.
Were they mentally handicapped, or did everybody just think they were stupid?
I think it was borderline. They were above the level where. It's the point where they're at a level where it's okay to make fun of them, I think. You're dumb, but it's not a mental issue.
Okay. So it was
So it wasn't like they were special needs, I guess.
Yeah.
This kind of sounds like a Johnny Knoxville story as I get closer and closer to it. So on February 25th, then they
put each other in shopping carts and rolled through parking lots.
The Gators were due to play their first game in a week-long tournament sponsored by the Special Olympics, which the winner would get a free week in L.A. So the 5 men had prepared the night before, some even laying out their uniforms and asking parents to wake them up on time. So actually, now that I read this, they may have actually had some mental handicap issues.
Let's see.
But they decided to drive. I don't understand.
And you're you know what? This whole thing was a trap. You're having me make fun of these people, and then Richard, you're like, you fucking sad son of a bitch.
Yeah, Richard.
What kind of big man? You think you're a big man making fun of the fucking mentally handicapped?
Yeah. Why don't you push them down the stairs, Richard? I bet you park in handicap spots.
No, we put them in shopping carts and we roll through the parking lot. Like Johnny Knoxville.
Hi, I'm Gary Mathias, and this is Jackass. Let's see. So the only member of the group...
And since they're slightly crazy, they're just talking out loud. There's no camera. Why do you...
I'm going to sew my butthole shut. So,
all right, so I don't have a needle and thread, but I got the staple gun. Let's get this done. I don't want to poop no more.
Wait, that's all you have to do? I want to try it. No, Ted, don't. Oh, my tummy hurts. I feel all stopped up.
Now let's make a centipede. I'm almost out of staples, but I think we can pull it off.
So they decided to drive to Chico that night, and only one of the members of Madriga, which is Jack, one of the Jacks, was the only...
crazy Jack number one.
Yeah. He's the older Jack. He's 30. He had a license, and so did Mathis. So they're the only two that had a license.
Anybody can get a license these days.
That's true.
As evidenced by...
I'm a good driver.
He says with clenched teeth.
I've heard recently.
I'm a great driver. I have been in one accident in my life that was my fault, where I backed out and I backed out of a parking spot and I accidentally like dented somebody's door.
Oh,
That was the worst of it.
Two, which were like 12 months apart. One, same thing. I backed into somebody. And the other one, it was at a red light, and the cars next to me on my left were going because they had like a green arrow to turn. And I didn't look up. I just hit the gas. Like just eased off the brake, and I went thump. Both times when I hit the thump, I was like, fuck. Because anything after that's not going to be good.
Yep. The me backing into the door, that was well over 10 years ago. Haven't had anything since.
Nice. Knock on some wood.
Nope. I'm good. I don't need to knock on wood.
I think the last one I was in
because I'm a great driver.
Like 2012. It's like 6 years ago. It's been a bit. It's been a minute.
You are reckless. Crazy Shawn. That's what we should talk about. We should talk about Crazy Shawn behind the wheel.
I've only had one ticket though, which kind of wasn't my fault. I was driving my dad's truck. And I didn't realize that like it was kind of bigger and heavier, so I didn't realize.
Oh, so it's like a speed. You're saying you only had one speeding ticket?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
How many of you had?
Well, I feel like tickets is a whole separate story.
Yeah. Are they?
Yeah, they are.
They're at least
tickets
like
are
half a point. So I'm at like 2.5 points, Richard. What are you at?
If we're counting the accident as 1 point and the tickets
are half.
Tickets are half. What about seatbelt tickets? Does that count?
No, those don't count. Those are just like trying to get money.
So 1.5.
No. You only had one ticket?
Yeah. Because warnings don't count, right?
No, I've had a couple warnings.
See? Well then, yeah. I've only had one speeding ticket where I had to pay.
Yeah, me too. Do we want to talk about after bachelor party driving, Richard?
I made it home safely.
That you know of.
I did hear there was a baby crying at some point. I don't know what that was about. But as far as I know, I made it home without hurting a single soul.
This story actually takes place that year, Richard. These 4 guys were missing.
I even got pulled over. I got pulled over and given a sobriety test that I passed.
Yeah, when you called me that day, you're like, hey, I got pulled over last night. I'm like, oh, do you need me to get you out of jail? Because I don't remember much of that night. I don't think I remember you leaving.
I don't remember me leaving either. I do remember I got in the car. I remember I got in the car and I sat in the car and I took the keys and I put them in a bottle. I think I put them in the glove box.
Because you're like, no, officer, I don't have the keys on me.
Well, no, because the keys have to be like out of sight or out of reach, or else like even if they like roll up on you and you have the keys like in the ignition, then you could still get a ticket for drunk driving.
It was like, oh, well, you were gonna drive. No, I wasn't. I was sleeping, and you woke me up.
So I
don't know. I was drunk.
So I put the keys in the glove box and I sat in the car and I was like, okay. I was like, just sit here and just chill out and then you'll be fine. Everything will be fine. And then after what seemed like, 20 minutes, which was actually closer to like 15 seconds, I was like, yeah, that's good enough. So I grabbed the keys and I start the car and I drive home and I start driving home and I got pulled over and the little cop, I didn't have to do like the full on sobriety test to like walk down a line and touch your fingers to your nose and all that stuff. He held out his pencil and he made me follow his little pencil. So I did that. And apparently that was good enough. And so he wrote me a warning because they said I didn't come to a complete stop. It's a fucking stop sign. It's some bullshit. It was some bullshit reason. He knew I was leaving a bar.
Yeah, he knew you were drunk. Did he write on the ticket like warning? He looked at my dick the whole time.
He made me follow his penis with my eyes.
He's like, I need you to blow on this. Okay.
And that's why I'm cross-eyed. Because it went in my mouth.
All these memories are coming back. You know what's weird though is like when you're in that like super drunk, like there's like a weird time warp. Like you said, like sometimes like 20 minutes can feel like 15 seconds, but then there's times where like 15 seconds feels like an eternity.
Yeah. That's where I was. After 15 seconds, I was like, that I waited. That's a good amount of time to wait.
I feel like it's like the bathroom too. Like people go to the bathroom, like, where's so-and-so go? I feel like I haven't gone forever. Has it been like, oh, drinks here? Go. Where's so-and-so go? It's been like forever.
So,
this is the form of search party.
I will say that after the sobriety test, my heart was like pounding so hard because I was afraid I was going to get a ticket that by the time I got home, then all the alcohol that I had in my system had been thoroughly and evenly distributed throughout my entire body. So I opened the door and then I fell out of the car. Like I opened the door and I guess I just like leaned. I was leaning on the door and then I opened it and...
You know what we call that, Richard?
And then gravity was mean to me because I opened the door and gravity made me hit my head on the ground.
Hold me up, Jesus.
I crawled in the house and I was like, not today, Satan.
Crawl in bed with Amanda. Amanda, guess what? I got pulled over, but I got away with it. You want to do it? So you smell like vomit. You smell like roses. I just want to eat you.
You smell like vomit. Well, that's just because I vomited on myself. But
that's your opinion.
That's why I'm going to take these clothes off.
I smell like already ingested Jack Daniels to me.
Yeah. I'll be like a toad. If you lick me, then you'll get drunk.
Just say no, kids. Let's see. So,
go on.
Hi.
You might want to check your kid, Richard. She might be drunk. What's in that bottle?
I knew it.
Have an intervention.
So yeah. No, but I crawled in the house and then I fell asleep on my couch. And then I left the ticket on my desk. And like the next day, Amanda comes in with the ticket in her hand. She's like, what is this? And I was like, after about like 30 seconds, I was like, oh, that was that warning ticket I got for
drinking
for last night. And she was like, how much did you drink? Because you didn't make it to bed. And I'm like, well,
babe, let me tell you this. I'm still drunk, so enough.
So more than a little, but obviously enough for me to carry on my good time into the next day. I call that a win for everybody.
There's nothing worse, I think, than like passing out on a couch drunk. I hate that.
You hate passing out on the couch drunk?
Yeah, I don't like it.
It depends.
Because you don't get a good night's sleep and you wake up and it's like cotton mouth because you've been chewing on the couch cushion.
What are you chewing on the couch cushion for?
Because you're hungry. Like, I want a burrito. But it's couch burrito.
So you just open your mouth and you just nom. And then whatever happens to be in the vicinities. Maybe you're slightly crazy. Have we ever considered that?
I've been tested.
Have you?
No, I haven't.
No, you haven't.
You want to go to Chico, California with me, Richard?
Yes.
Because I want to disappear. Make me disappear. Oh, shit. Like, maybe that's... Well, actually, no. It ends bad for 4 of the guys. But our story could end better than this one.
Let's hope.
Let's see. So, they decided to drive to Chico to cheer on the UC Davis basketball team in an away game against Chico State. So... Jack Madgra was one of the guys who could drive besides Mathis, so he was the one that drove the 50 miles north to Chico in his turquoise and white 1969 Mercury Montego.
Ooh, who doesn't love a Montego? I have no idea what that car looks like.
Well, I can tell you.
How does it look? Is it a two-door?
It's a two-door. It looks like one of those long 1960s, late 60s, early 70s kind of cars, like a Charger kind of thing.
Okay.
Like a sports car.
Okay. And it's turquoise?
Yeah, it's turquoise and white. Like, that's a sign of crazy.
Yeah.
Like, either you're a cocaine baron's, like, sexy side chick, or you're crazy.
Like, people call me Whitey Bear.
Hashtag on, or actually, like, draft pick for, like, our jobs that we want in the future. Cocaine baron's sexy side chick.
You want to be the sexy side chick?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. You get a turquoise and white 1969 Mercury Montego.
Yeah, but nobody cares about you, and you could get murdered.
That's a good point. Who would you rather murder, the wife or the sexy side chick?
Probably the sexy side chick because
so?
because you're so much more indispensable.
Yeah, that's
you're
right.
you're dispensable. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit about the side chick.
Again, Richard,
The wife-
my looks come back to haunt me.
The wife knows all the secrets, and
Well,
so
yeah, but then the wife's going to bring like more press in too. So it's like, oh, we killed that side chick that you have in that hotel.
yeah, but
Damn
see,
it.
then the wife's like, kill the side chick, or else I'm going to the fucking cops,
going to the
motherfucker,
feds.
Mr. Cocaine Baron. Now what are you gonna do? And Cocaine Baron's like, well, I can, always find another side
Yeah,
chick.
that's true.
Pop, pop, and then guess what? And then you're dead in a hotel room, Sean.
Yeah, thanks
and then
for
I
my
have to
dreams,
go
Richard.
I have to go and cry over your mangled corpse because you thought it would be fun to get a piece of ass from a cocaine baron.
Yeah, and then you got to go on a revenge tour and go out to wherever there's cocaine barons and take them out, and then you become the cocaine baron.
Do you really think I would do well
Would you
on
avenge me? Well, I don't know if you do well, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's my point. Like
you're like
you're asking if I would avenge you. I guess maybe I would try.
I'm here to avenge my friend. Did you bring guns or anything? Oh,
No, I was thinking more of a war of words.
pop, pop, pop. Oh, damn it.
Oh, you guys brought guns.
I
Don't
guess
they ever say don't bring guns to a word fight? And they're like, no, they say bring guns to every fight. Oh,
Oh.
well, I lost.
Can you bury me next to my friend? No, he's in the ocean with the sharks. Oh, he didn't want to die that way.
Well, he was already, to be fair, he was already dead. Oh, not like we care. He was the side chick. Nobody cares about the side chick.
Oh, this guy's been dead for a while. He didn't hear the rest of our monologue. Quick, feed him to the gators.
Maybe you'll be the same shark. Maybe the same shark will eat you. Oh, I can only hope.
We'd be mixed in the same poo.
It's the most disgusting thing you've ever said to
It's
me.
the most disgusting, but the most romantic. See, the men, though, so this is kind of the wintertime. The men only wore light coats against the cool temperatures in the upper Sacramento Valley at the night of that time. So we've just set the scene, Richard. These guys are like these five buddies. They're like, we're going to get in this car. We're going to get in this 1969 Mercury Montego. We're going to put on our light jackets. We're going to, try to do math on the way up. But we're probably not going to do it well because we're kind of not intelligent. But that's beside the point. We're going to go to college.
Why are they doing math?
Well, I mean, you're like, okay, we've got 8 gallons of gas, and this is the 60s, so they probably get like 4 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
Like, can we make it?
50. Yeah, but to be fair, like gas was like, 15 cents a gallon.
That's true. When was it? When was like the big gas?
That was like 78, 79.
Okay. It was closer to the 80s. I think gas is one of those things. It seems like right now it hasn't really increased as much as all the other stuff, inflation wise.
Well, I think it spiked huge in like 2008, and I feel like it's steadily going back up to that, which I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, in the Midwest though, it's still under $3 a gallon. There was a time,
Just
Richard,
barely.
There was a time, Richard, when it was like $6 a gallon, and like I was like, I'm never going to see gas below $5.
Yeah,
But here we are.
Here we are. But now it's starting to go back up. So I'm saying that we wouldn't be able to drive to Chico.
No, we wouldn't.
But on the plus side, then we wouldn't get lost.
That's true. So, Richard, let's get to the disappearance of these guys. So, after the Davis team won the game, so you get to go on this trip. You see the team. Was this the team they rooted for?
No, I was going to say they were rooting for the other team.
No, they cheer on UC Davis. So, their team won. They wanted Davis to win.
Okay.
The group got back in Jack Madgura's car, and they drove a short distance from Chico State to Bears Market in downtown Chico. So we're Scooby doing this, Richard. So they got there.
Yeah, they're like, let's go to the market. Because I know whenever my sports team wins a big game, my first thought is I want to go to the grocery store.
I'm a big fan of like road trips, stopping at places to get like food, like those.
Okay, but stopping where?
I mean, if I'm
not in the gas station, you're the guy that gets gas station sushi, aren't you?
No,
you're the guy that's like, oh,
listen,
sushi.
Quick Trip has some good food, like hot dogs and stuff like that. I won't get sushi. Sushi's like that's just asking for.
I'm not getting the hot dog.
Quick Trip's got some good hot dogs.
I'm not getting a hot dog. I refuse. If they have a place that like does like I could do a slice of pizza, because like pretty much everything on that pizza is processed. The pizza in the gas station might as well be made out of fucking plastic.
That's true.
Which is fine, because then I know that nothing in there is going to kill me. Have
you ever eaten at like a Quick Trip, like the stuff they have on the spinners?
No.
It's not bad. It's good. It's high quality, Richard.
If I had this conversation with your colon, what would it say? This man's a liar.
You just wait, bro. Okay. Well, honestly, that's like whenever you're stopping. Like, I've got 2 hours to get back home. I'm not stopping to pick something up. I'm just going to grab this after I get gas and go. Like, if I got the time,
but okay, but like 90% of the time, if you're like on a road trip, okay, 90% of the time, if you're at a gas station directly next to the gas station, or in a lot of cases inside the gas station, there is a actual place that sells food, like a Subway or a Wendy's.
Yeah, but that's more expensive. You got to spend like $10, but you can get a hot dog for like 60 cents.
There's a reason that you're paying 60 cents, Shawn. It's because you're going to stop in 5 more miles, and then you're going to stop in 5 more miles, and then you're going to have to pay for like a pack of gum, so that way you can get the key that's tied to like a boat paddle, so that way you can unlock the door to go in and make your poops.
That's true. That's only happened twice, and I told you that in confidence.
I know. I held the paddle. Like, I can't get this door unlocked. It's got this 9-foot board attached to it.
I told you not to eat 2 hot dogs, Shawn. 1, I was like, maybe. 2, definitely pooping.
Hurry, it's starting to come out.
And it's not solid.
Oh.
Just wait. This brocation we're going to do in March.
Now I got to buy pants at this store, at this gas station, too.
Now I got diarrhea and crabs. But Richard, these guys decided, they drove the short distance to Bear Market in downtown Chico, where they bought snacks along with sodas. And Richard, I don't understand this. They bought a carton of milk to drink.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
Like, I don't understand.
What time of year is this?
It's wintertime. Like, it'd be like December or January.
Well, yeah, but
it's
still,
February.
like, they got a gallon. Like, what are they gonna, like, it's not like they brought cups. They're gonna pass that fucking gallon jug around.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of milk's
that's
one of those
grody.
things that, like, sometimes I feel like I have to choke it down.
Well, milk, I feel, is one of those things that, like, you don't share milk.
That's a good point. Yeah,
you don't share milk with
and you know what?
spittle.
It was one of those carton ones too, like the cardboard ones. Oh
God! So like everybody's got their fucking.
Because like that cardboard's gonna suck up everybody's mouth juice.
Right now my stomach feels like I just ate a gas station hot dog, because this is making me ill.
Yeah, because they're eating like the processed like beef sticks, and they're taking a swig of milk.
Oh, that's so gross.
Yeah. Richard, why are you making fun of these special people?
Because they're passing around a carton of milk like it's a fucking hog leg joint, and that's grody. They're getting their spit all over it. And plus, people, like, I feel like milk has a huge potential to, like, you have a huge potential to backwash in milk. Because it makes mucuses up your mouth.
Richard, this is supposed to be a scary story, and I think the scariest thing in this is people thinking of other people sharing a milk.
Yeah, carton. Exactly. Because I'm thinking of them, like, that sounds fucking terrifying.
Like, you guys are fucking Satanists.
Like what if you're sitting in the fucking car and somebody passes you a goddamn gallon jug, and they're like, "Here, take a swig," and then you're like, "Oh," and you could, like, in your mind's eye, you picture like all these creepy, crawly fucking mouth bacteria on the lip of the fuck.
I'm not a big fan
it's
of sharing,
so
like, drinks.
Gross.
Like something with a straw, maybe, but like if you're drinking right from somebody's cup, sometimes like,
I wouldn't stick a straw in somebody. If somebody handed me, like, "Hey, can you?" Like, if my wife handed me a glass of milk and was like, "Hey, go ahead and can you finish this?" I'd be like, "No,
I can throw it away."
I think we should see other people.
Oh, it's disgusting. So it was shortly before the store's 10 p.m. closing time. The clerk later remembered them because they were all sharing the milk carton. He's like, oh, those guys? Yeah, they're all like passing around this milk carton.
They were passing around. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, this makes universally no sense to anyone. There's 4 guys. One of them disappears. You know what the most discerning thing they remember is? They were passing around a fucking milk carton and drinking it. Because the person that they interviewed is probably like, oh, yeah, I remember those guys. You know, the thing I remember most about them is they were passing around a milk carton and drinking it. I mean, who does that?
No, but what she actually
and then the
said,
cops
she
like, wait,
them because
this, you know what? I bet they weren't. I bet that nobody thought they were like crazy, or they thought, that they were like, had issues, had like mental issues or problems or anything until that milk thing. That's when they were like,
true.
Maybe there's something wrong with them.
Have you guys had these guys tested? I mean,
because they're passing around a fucking carton of milk. I'm just saying.
There's 2 separate kinds of reports here. If they're just like dumb, like that's one kind of investigation. But if they're special needs, like that's a different kind of investigation.
I mean, we're just going where the evidence takes us, and right now, that's a big clue. That's a red flag pointing towards. I don't know if these guys are all there.
No, she said that she resented them because she was upset that such a large group came in and delayed her from starting the process of closing. But at that point, she was the last one to ever see any of these guys alive again. And it says here, this doesn't really add much to the story, but I guess at their homes, some of the men's parents were staying up waiting for them. And when they didn't return in the morning, the police were notified.
Yep. You know what happened? They all got some fucking horrible infection from sharing that goddamn milk carton, and now they're all dead. I mean, not to put a terrible spin on a tragic story, but I'm just saying the warning signs were there.
So the investigation of this, Richard, so police and Butte, I'm guessing that's butt or booty?
Butte. Let's call it Butte.
So police in Butte and Yuba counties began searching along the route that the men took to Chico. There was no signs of them, but a few days later, in Plumas National Forest, a ranger told investigators that he had seen a Montego parked along Oroville Quincy Road in the forest on February 25th. He's like, yeah, I walked by, and when I peeked in, they're all passing around a milk carton. I was like,
and then I was like, that's the one thing I remember more than anything. I was like, why are 4 dudes sitting in a car in the middle of the woods? I was like, but I mean, you get that because, I mean, sometimes, things happen in the woods.
But like,
and what happens in the woods stays in the woods. But you know what happens in the woods that doesn't stay in the woods? When you fucking catch a sight of 4 dudes sharing a carton of milk, because that's goddamn horrifying.
You walk over like you're expecting 4 dudes, 5 dudes just to be banging each other. Like, oh, that's weird. But I'm not telling anybody. Milk
like,
carton?
no, gay orgy. I mean, to each their own. But 4 dudes passing around a fucking carton of milk, taking swigs out of it, that shit stays with you. That shit, it's burned into your fucking subconscious.
All I can see is like them pulling the milk carton from their lip and that string.
Oh my God. That's fucking disgusting.
Like the ranger said, he's like, it didn't seem weird when he first saw it because a lot of people, I guess, parked there to go cross-country skiing. But Richard,
at night?
What's that?
At night?
That's a good point. That is kind of odd. Unless he saw it like in the morning. He probably saw it in the morning.
It's like night skinny dipping.
Well, no, he probably drove by and saw it in the morning or like during the day. Because at 10 or 11 at night, he's not going to be driving around.
Maybe. What if he's looking for bears?
Or he's looking for bears, bone and twinks.
Yeah. I mean, and he's like, oh, to each their own.
But I'm going to sit here with these binoculars and watch.
Yeah, and jerk off. Because that's how I get down.
Yeah. I mean, he's got that government paying job. He's got to take his benefits.
So I'm sitting there. I got these binoculars on and my dick's out and I'm trying to look for a good time. And then what do I spy with my little eye? I spy 4 dudes sharing a fucking milk carton. I threw up all over my fucking dick.
What's weird though is when I threw up, I finished. So I kind of think I'm into this now.
Great.
You know how hard, I've been working here for 67 years. You know how hard it's going to be for me to find this one more time in my life?
Yeah. Internet, I mean, it does all it can, but you find me an internet of 4 dudes sharing a milk carton. I think even the internet's like, nope, we're not down with that. Rule 34 does not apply here.
You got to go to the dark web for that.
Yeah.
So they discovered the car, which this ranger kind of pointed to him. So inside the car was evidence suggesting that the men had been in it between when they were last seen and when it was abandoned.
Yep.
So there was wrappers, an empty carton of milk, and cans they had purchased.
Oh my God, they finished it. Oh my God, they finished it. Just imagine they finished it because, like the last 10% of that carton. Last 10% of that carton was all spittle. All of it. Every single fucking ounce of it.
I bet Gary finished it.
I bet he did. Fucking sick bat. I'm glad he's gone. I'm glad he's missing because that's gross.
Let's see. So
we don't need that kind of abomination in the world.
So there was programs from the basketball game they had watched, and there were neatly folded maps of California. But the discovery of the car raised more questions than it answered. The first was its location. It was 70 miles, Richard, from Chico. They're
all fucking on the milk high, and they're like, let's go joyride through the park.
So none of the men's families could speculate as to why they might have driven up such a long and winding dirt road. Madrig's parents, that's the one who owned the car, said he did not like the cold weather and had never been up in the mountains. Sterling's father had once taken his son to the area near where the car was found for a fishing weekend, but the younger man had not enjoyed it. So police could not figure out why these men had abandoned the car. They had reached 4,400 feet in elevation, about where the snow line was at that time of year, just short of where the road was closed for the winter. So they drove pretty much like up to the point of having to stop.
Yeah.
The car had been stuck in some snowdrifts, and there was evidence that the wheels had been spinning. So they were like, hey, let's keep going. We're on this fucking milk high. Let's get more milk. And then they got stuck.
I bet there's cows on that mountain. Let's get all the milk. Oh my, we could share a teat. Oh, no.
This is kind of a shitty note from the police, though, but the police know, like, well, the snow wasn't so deep that 5 healthy young men could not have pushed it out.
Yeah. They're like, hey, don't be a pussy.
Yeah. If we were alive, we'd be pissed, you sons of bitches.
Yeah. Fucking sharing milk cartons.
Keys were not present, suggesting at first that the car had been abandoned because it might have been functioning properly, but the police were able to hotwire it, and it started immediately. And the gas tank was quarter full. So... car was in working order, had gas, should have been able to push it out. So why, Richard, was this thing still there? The undercarriage had no dents, gouges, or even mud scrapes. Even the driver had been very careful, and it was someone familiar with the road. His family said that the guy who owned the car would have probably let someone else drive it because he wasn't familiar with this area. But they had people that were.
Okay, here's what happened. Okay, so they're driving around. And they're drinking this milk. And then one of the dudes is like, hey, let's go skiing. And then, wait a minute, no. And then somebody else is like, but we don't have any ski equipment. And
quick, chug these milk cartons. We can turn them into skis.
No, here's what happened. One dude... okay, no, I got it. Okay, so they're driving along and they're sharing the milk, right? The one person that drinks like the last of the milk, like gets super sick. And so then they figure out, so then they're like, oh my God, like he probably is, super sick. We gotta fix him. We gotta heal him. And then one of the dudes is like, hey, I think there's some herbs on top of this mountain that'll cure this guy's fucking milk spittle sickness. And so they drive into the park and they're like, and they get the car stuck, but they're all so weak because they've drank each other's spit the whole time. So they're so weak that they can't push the car out because, milk did not do any of their bodies any good.
That milk mustache is something you don't want to see.
Oh, God. No, it's not a milk mustache. It's a spit mustache.
So, Richard, there were some sightings, apparently. So, in response to local media coverage, police...
they're like, there's a bunch of guys in the park. Like, this is where we live now.
Police received reports of some or all of the men being sighted after they had left Chico. Most of them were easily dismissed, but 2 stood out. So, this gentleman named Joseph Sones of Sacramento told police he had inadvertently wound up spending the night of February 24th to 25th near where the Montego was found. He had driven up there where he had a cabin to check the snowpack in advance of a weekend ski trip with his family.
Oh.
So at 5:30 p.m., about 150 feet up the road, he too had gotten stuck. In the process of trying to free it, he realized he was beginning to experience the early symptoms of a heart attack. And he went
Holy
back
shit.
in. Yeah, this guy's like, he's probably like, holy shit, were those guys drinking the same milk carton? Oh,
That's
God.
fucked up.
Oh, God,
my
Elizabeth.
heart, it's giving me palpitations.
That's not palpitations. I can't feel my arm. 6
That would
hours.
give me a heart attack.
Yeah, I know. 6 hours later, Richard, lying in his car, he experienced severe pain. He told the police he saw headlights coming up behind him. So he looked out, he saw a car parked behind him, headlights on, with a group of people around it, one of which seemed to him to be a woman holding a baby.
Oh, what?
So he called for them to help, but when they stopped talking and turned their headlights out, later he saw more lights from behind them, this time flashlights, that also went out when he called to them. This story's fucking creepy.
This is creepy. This is freaking me out.
Yeah, could you imagine?
Like,
you know what? There's nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, how fucked up is this? Okay, so you're driving into the fucking wilderness. Okay, you're in the woods because you just want to check out your cabin or whatever. That's in the middle of fucking nowhere. Okay, so you're out there in the middle of nowhere in the dark, and all of a sudden a car pulls up behind you. Now, immediately right there, whether the car's stuck or not, I'm getting out of the car and I'm running into the woods.
I'm grabbing my milk carton and running. Take a swig. I'll make you drink this if you come near me.
Like, oh God, no. My spittle, my backwash is in here. You want it? I'll throw it. I'll throw it at you. You like threaten it like a bomb. I'll do it. I'll do it.
He's just crazy enough to do it. Back away, boys.
Oh Lord, he crazy.
There's I've stayed,
But like, okay, so you're driving on the road, but I'm saying that you're driving on the road and then the car pulls up behind you. Okay. So immediately right there, like all the hair on the back of my neck is standing up. Like all my warning bells are going off. And then I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And then their lights turn out. I'm like, nope.
I'm out.
At that point, I'm like, oh my God, Bear's figured out how to drive.
But then think about it. Then what walks out, it's like, oh, wait, that's a woman holding a baby
In the middle of nowhere.
in the middle of the night. It's Satan. But there's nothing scarier than hearing like baby cries, like when there shouldn't be baby cries.
Oh.
Let that settle, Richard.
Okay, so then another car pulls up, and then you're like,
there's like
what the fuck are you? Well, what are you doing here? And then those lights turn out. I'm like, you know what? I don't need this car.
Hurry up, heart attack, take me.
Start punching yourself in the chest. Come on.
So after that, Sign said at first he recalled a pickup truck parking about 20 feet behind him briefly, and then continued on down the road. This road's pretty busy for nobody seeing this car.
Yeah, this road's pretty busy for the middle of the fucking night in a park.
Later, he clarified to police that he could not be sure of that, since at the time he was almost delirious from the plane he was in. So really, that's probably like the Grim Reaper coming to pick him up. That's probably what he saw. So after Sion's car ran out of gas,
going? You want some milk? God, no. What are you doing?
After Sion's car ran out of gas in the early mornings, his pain subsided enough for him to walk 8 miles down the road to a lodge where the manager drove him back. I want to know more about this guy.
This dude's a fucking baller.
Yeah.
He almost has a heart attack, and then he's like, no, I think I'm good, and then walks 8 miles.
Yeah. When's the last time you walked 8 miles?
You know what? I don't like how you bring my business into things.
Was that when you walked to the rap battle?
The rap battle?
Yeah, 8 miles in Detroit.
Stop it. Mom spaghetti. Yeah, let's let that sit there.
But it's got Brittany Murphy in there, and she's smoking hot.
Was.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Rip. Yep.
I wonder if she was the one there with the baby.
Maybe.
No, she's not dead. She time traveled.
Also, I think she did suffer. I think she also suffers from some mental issues. She probably had no problem with these dudes drinking milk from a fucking carton. She's probably like, give me a swig. That might be how she died.
Maybe.
She didn't actually. It wasn't actually a suicide. She drank milk from their fucking carton, and it just hit her like 8 months later.
It hit her like, yeah. So she time traveled there, took a swig of milk, came back, and then died.
Yep, that's how it happened.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you time travel, like one thing to remember, the milk cartons are cartons, and if you take a drink after somebody, you're going to die, and the drugs are a lot stronger.
Yep, and always try to kill baby Hitler. So baby Hitler, don't drink from the carton. I think that should just be a universal rule.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. So he walked down there. So the manager drove him back home, passing the abandoned Montego at the point where he had recalled hearing the voices originate from. Doctors later confirmed that he did experience a mild heart attack. Ware's mother, I don't know who this is. I think this is one of the guys. This was Ted Ware.
Okay. Odd side note, okay? So you've lived, as a single man. If you owned a milk carton, or if you had a milk in your fridge, would you drink from it?
Probably.
Would you then offer it to other people?
No.
Let's say you come home and it's late and you take a big swig of fucking milk.
No, I don't.
And then you go to bed. No, I don't either.
Scratch that.
I'm not big on milk.
Yeah. We do like cashew milk and stuff now, like nut milk. Which is a great joke to be like, hey babe, you want some of my nut milk?
How's that go?
Oh, I get sex all the time.
I knew it.
Because
hey babe, I got a new joke.
No way, you got to say Shawn's nut milk.
That's not how it works. That's not how the joke should work. I told it exactly like he told me.
So Ware's mother said ignoring someone's pleas for help was not like her son. So she's the mother of one of the guys that got it's missing.
Okay.
She recalled how he and Sterling had helped someone they knew get to the hospital after overdosing on Valium. So
where the fuck did they get Valium?
I don't know. It's the 70s.
Jesus Christ. So they're just out fucking joyriding, drinking fucking milk. And then all of a sudden somebody's like, hang on, I'm in the middle of a Valium overdose.
Well, I think that was in the past. That wasn't during this trip.
Oh, okay.
The other notable report was from a woman who worked at a store in the small hamlet of Brownsville, 30 miles from the spot where the car had been abandoned, which they could have reached had they continued down the road from where they left the car. So on March 3rd, a woman who saw the flyer that had been distributed with the men's picture and information with about $1,215 reward, which is about $4,600 today in modern dollars.
Okay.
That the family had put together, said that 4 of them had stopped at the store in a red pickup truck 2 days after the disappearance. The store owner corroborated this account. It's like, yeah, we saw these 5 guys come in. They just bought 1 gallon of milk and they all shared it. Like, oh, that's the boys.
That's the one thing I fucking remember is like, usually I don't remember people, it's a grocery store. It's a convenience store. People are in and out all the damn time. But the reason these people stood out is because they bought a fucking gallon of milk. Then they all started taking swigs of it. Like it was a fucking Colt 45. I don't understand what the fuck's the matter with people.
I feel like you guys missed an opportunity. You called these guys the boys. You should have called them the milk boys.
Yeah. And then everybody, that would make, that's a good point. Because like the thing with like missing persons is you got to put out like one distinct feature that like triggers everybody's memory. Be like, they like to buy milk and share it.
Oh shit, Richard. So if I ever go missing or you ever go missing, what we need to do is be like, oh my God, we need to find Shawn. He's a podcaster. And that way everybody's like, oh my God, save the podcaster. And they listen to our show. And
hashtag save the podcaster.
Yeah. And our numbers jump through the roof.
Oh my God. I just figured out how to fucking increase listenership for our show.
Fake our
one of us. Exactly. One of us has to go missing.
Well, what we do, Richard, so we'll do like 6 months of episodes and we'll get them all ready and out there. And then we go on our brocation. We won't come back. And then when those episodes are up, that's when we'll come back and be like, we're live.
Yeah.
And what we'll find out, Richard, is nobody listened to those either.
No, we'll get other people to do a podcast about like trying to track us down.
Oh, yeah. Bro searching for the bros.
Oh my God, that's perfect. Like other people could do it. Like other podcasters, like people that were like guests on the show and stuff like that. They could do they would like do a podcast about trying to find us. But the thing is the way we can't be found is we can't share milk because then everybody will recognize us.
Let's see. So this woman said that she identified the man immediately from out of the area due to their big eyes and facial expressions. It's like, holy shit, this is a big gas station. You guys got 2-gallon milks.
I bet you got everything in here.
Holy shit, Ted, look, they've got milk in plastic jugs.
Let's get just one. Just one.
It doesn't taste the same. Yeah, because it doesn't taste like spit.
You. Something's different about this milk. Yeah, it doesn't have my fucking backwash in it, Ted or Jack.
Let's see. So additional details kind of came in from the store. She said that two of the guys that came in that she could identify bought burritos, chocolate milk, and soft drinks.
Oh my God, that's even worse. Oh, that's even worse. Because, you know, chocolate milk, it's just old fucking milk.
Ugh. That's the thing. It's like, holy shit, Gary, guess what? They don't just have milk, they have chocolate
milk.
Oh, man. That gives a whole new meaning to Brownsville.
This whole episode is fucking turning my stomach. I can feel it. I can feel it at the top. Yeah. Like I can feel like this, like not building at the top of my stomach because this is so fucking disgusting.
Yeah. So these owners described that the two men's behavior seemed consistent with them, as they noted that they would eat anything he could get his hands on, and was often accompanied by this other guy too.
They probably got a parasite from fucking sharing that goddamn milk carton.
But Richard, this is where our tale takes a turn for the sad.
But wait, because, okay, here's the other thing you gotta consider. Back to the milk. I don't know why we're so fucking stuck on this, but it's because I'm saying, like, this is such a sticky, it's like an earworm.
Yeah.
But so the other thing with the milk is you got to consider, like, they're driving and it's cold because you said it's like around wintertime. Yeah. So, you know, they probably got like the heat on in the car.
Ooh.
So it's like warm.
Yeah, because milk in those like cartons. Oh God, do you remember getting milk in like school?
Oh yeah,
and like the ice already melted and like.
And if it at 41 degrees it was fine, or like 40 degrees it was fine, but when it got to like 40, if that milk hit like 42 degrees, you're like nope. Well, most of the time too, that milk it'd be cold, then it'd warm up, then they cool it again. Oh my God. Oh, stop. Okay.
Right. So Richard, these guys, this is where we find out that there was discovery of the bodies.
Oh.
So with the evidence not pointing at any clear conclusion about what had happened that night, about when the men disappeared, police and the families were not ruling out the possibility that the men had met with foul play. The eventual discovery of 4 of the 5 men's bodies seemed to suggest otherwise, but it raised even more questions. So on June 4th, with most of the higher elevation snow melting, a group of motorcyclists went to a trailer maintained by the Forest Service at a campsite from where it was about 20 miles from where Monte would have been found. The front window had been broken, and when they opened the door, they were overcome by an odor of the decaying bodies inside. It was later identified as one of the guys.
They found, so there was just one.
Just one in there. So basically, somehow the group split up, and this one of the guys found this trailer, broke in, and like died inside of this place. Died with a milk jug in his hand.
Probably did. Probably he was the one that had the cart, and he's like, no, I'll just keep going. Glug, 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 glug.
Oh, it's backwash.
It's so damn hot. Milk was a bad choice. And he throws the carton down and then collapses and died.
So searchers returned to Plumas, followed the road between the trailer and the side of the Montego. The next day they found remains, later identified as Madriga, who owned the car, and Sterling, on opposite sides of the roads about 12 miles from the car had been. The former's body had been partially consumed by scavenging animals, which makes sense.
Okay.
Only bones remained of the latter scattered over a small area. Autopsy showed that they had died of hypothermia. Deputies speculated that one may have succumbed to the desire for sleep, and that kind of is like the final stages of hypothermia. So basically, it's like, no, just I'm gonna lay here and I'm just gonna sleep for a few minutes. I'm just gonna lay on this couch, babe. Don't cover me.
Is this a drinking ticket? No, it's just a warning.
Is this a milk jug? Did you drink out of the carton, Richard?
Oh my God. You didn't share this carton, did you? Because that's fucking disgusting.
2 days later, the search party found the other member, the 4th member. So there's one member they did not find.
Okay.
They found, it was his father. Jack Hewitt's father found his son's backbone under a manzita bush about 2 miles northeast of the trailer. His shoes and jeans were nearby.
So it's basically like they all left the car and then just like they did this like apparently they did this like death march,
kind of,
and they just kind of like dropped one at a time.
Yeah, because this guy, the one that they found the backbone of, they said he died of hypothermia too.
Damn.
Let's see, but they did not find Gary's body at all, so it's presumed he was not taking his medication. Pictures of him were distributed to different institutes. So let's look at this trailer, Richard. There's a little bit left on this trailer. So evidence in the trailer, because this is the only one that's kind of like untampered, because the other three were outside.
Right. Well, and also, here's the thing that I don't understand. Okay, so they all wander off, and apparently, like I said, like they drop like one at a time. So, like I said, it's like almost like they're doing this like death march through the fucking woods. Okay, so one dude ends up breaking into this trailer and getting in there, and that's how he died. But then there's a dude that died further from the trailer. It's almost like the one dude broke into the trailer, and then the one dude's like, "No, I'm gonna keep going. I think I can make it wherever the fuck it."
No, the trailer was 20 miles from the car. The first two they found were about 12 miles from the car. No, yeah, but you're right. Then the last one was like 2 miles northeast of the trailer. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like it's like one dude laid down the trailer, and then the other goes like, "Oh, I'm gonna keep going.
We're almost there." So the guy that was in the trailer, his body was on a bed with 8 sheets wrapped around it, including the head. The autopsy showed that he had died of a combination of starvation and hypothermia. He had lost nearly half of his 200 pounds. Had a growth of a beard that suggested he lived as long as 13 weeks from when he last shaved.
What the fuck?
His feet were badly frostbitten, almost gangrene. Yeah, it gets a little worse. This is where it gets creepy. So on the table next to the bed were some of his personal effects, including his wallet with cash and a nickel ring with Ted engraved in it, and a gold necklace he also wore. Also on the table was a gold watch without its crystals, which his family said was not his, and a partially melted candle. He was wearing...
This whole thing is just like this dude's just like, well, this is where I live now.
Pretty much. He was wearing a shirt and lightweight pants, but his shoes could not be found.
This whole thing makes no sense.
Yeah, that's where it gets really creepy. And they got a cool little theory at the end too. So most puzzling. So like, yeah, this whole thing's like weird, but most puzzling to the investigators was how Waymer came to his fate. So no fire had been set in the trailer's fireplace, despite an ample supply of matches and paperback novels to use as kindling. Heavy forest clothing, which was there to keep men warm, remained where it had been stored. A dozen sea ration cans from the storage shed outside had been opened and their contents consumed, but a locker in the same shed that held an even greater assortment of food, which would have been enough to feed the men for a whole year, had it been necessary, had not even been opened. So they get there, and like you said, like I don't know if they were searching for food or what, but they get there and there's sea rations, but then there's even more food that could feed these guys, and they have a fireplace to keep.
Oh my god, how fucked up is that? Be that you're just like, oh, I just didn't see the locker that was full of fucking food. But like you said, like apparently you said there was no evidence that they started a fire at all.
No, none at all. And they said that the shed nearby had a butane tank too with a valve that, had it been open, would have fed the trailer's heating system.
This whole thing fucking makes no sense.
Yeah.
So basically, all these people had every chance in the world of being, even if they, like they got stuck in the and then like just or maybe even like somebody like was fucking with them and they ran off into the woods. Like this dude at the trailer had every single advantage in the world of fucking surviving.
Yeah.
And still fucked it up.
You know what this is, Richard? This is when your dad asks you to help him like fix the car. You just hold the flashlight so you don't learn shit.
Yeah.
Let's see. So they also said that it seemed that he was not alone in the trailer, and that Mathias, Gary, and possibly Hewitt had been there with him. So Gary's tennis shoes were in the trailer. So he wasn't wearing tennis shoes, but Gary's shoes were there. And the sea rations had been opened with a P38 can opener, which Gary would have learned how to use during his army service.
So they were all fucking hanging out at this trailer.
Yeah, at least a couple of them were. All right, so let's finish this weird story, Richard, that we started with like kind of a weird milk craze, and now we're getting into the theory of what they think happened.
Okay.
So even
they were all fucking idiots, and they were all they had to do was open a fucking locker, and then they would have had food, And all they had to do was start a fire, and then they wouldn't have died. All right, what's the theory?
So even knowing that 4 of the 5 men had died in the Sierra, investigators could still not completely explain what had led to those deaths. They had no explanation for why the men were there, although they had learned Gary had friends in a small town of Forbestown, and police believed it was possible that an attempt to visit them on his way back home, that the men were taking kind of a wrong turn. So like basically Gary's like, hey, I've got some friends who have a bunch of milk. They said I can have it whenever I ever want.
That way we could each have one. Well, yeah, but isn't this more fun? No, it's not more fun. It's not more fun to share.
So
sharing is not caring in this instance.
So they're guessing that they took a wrong turn, and for whatever reason, the men had left the Montego. Instead of going back down the road, they just started to go past the lodge that they passed. They just kind of continued up the road. So they kept going up the mountain.
Yeah.
So the day before the men went missing, a Forest Service snowcat had gone along the road in the direction to clear snow off the trail or the trailer roof so it would not collapse. It was possible, police believe, that the group had decided to follow the tracks that was left. So basically, a snowmobile went up, cleaned off this trailer, and then left. So they probably followed this trail thinking, oh my gosh, there's something here.
Yeah.
It assumed that once they found the trailer, the other 3 broke the window to enter. Since it was locked, they may have believed it was private property and may have feared arrest for theft if they used anything else they found. After Weyer died, or the others believed he had, they perhaps chose to attempt to return to civilization by different routes. So basically they're here like, hey guys, we can't, this is somebody else's food. We can't eat it.
You know, aside from the milk thing, this would totally be us. Be like, no, what if somebody really needs that? Like, we'd just be too nice to fucking survive in the fucking woods.
Richard, it's only been 2 weeks. I mean, I think we can eat some more pine cones and be okay.
I mean, that stuff's not yours.
Shawn, stop staring at me like that. You got such a frozen look on your face.
What if somebody needs that?
But to this day, nobody knows where Gary went. So they found 4 of the bodies, but Gary is nowhere to be found.
What if he's still living there?
Oh, he leaves and comes back.
Yeah. And then he's like, hey, look, a locker full of food. Hey, look, matches.
Maybe that's what he did. He talked all the other guys into not to doing that, and they all dropped. He's like, yes, all this is mine.
Num, 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 num.
And
now I can drink the milk in peace.
He's still trying to get to his friend's house with all the milk. But Richard, it's a spooky tale. There's not really much that kind of leads us to what happened. It's kind of a sad tale to an extent. But do you have any Richard's closing thoughts to kind of tidy up this milk thirsty?
That's my closing thought. Don't share a carton of milk because ew. Unless you're about ready to go missing. In which case, do, so that way everybody will remember you.
All right, well, let me do a little bit of housekeeping before we call it quits for the evening. Visit our website, we're at languageofbros.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at languageofbro. Email us at eatthebeaver at languageofbros.com. And if you find yourself in Chicago on November 27th, come out to the Beat Kitchen around 8:30 as Richard and I will be doing a live podcast at the Beat Kitchen for the 2018 Chicago Podcast Festival. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I am too.
It's only $12 for tickets. Tickets are available now. Check out the show notes. Send us a tweet, Facebook, email if you're going to be there. We're going to have a bunch of bumper stickers. We're going to have a bunch of hugs to give out. It's going to be a great, great time.
We love hugs.
And you can like us on Facebook. And if you really want to help push this podcast to new heights, not only coming to see us live, but telling all your friends to come check out the show, recruit them to join the LB Army by getting someone you know to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify.
And when you do that, throw up some ratings and reviews because they're super, super helpful for all of us and helps us, in terms of iTunes rankings and a bunch of other good stuff.
Yeah, and remember, you can always find us as part of the group that does not share milk, the Pod Bros Network.
That's right, because we all know what happens when you share milk. Apparently, you get lost in the woods.
And if you want to go just a tiny bit further, join our LB Army join our LB Army like LB Army member Wendy by joining our Patreon accounts, www.patreon.com/languageofbromance. Also in the show notes.
Nailed it.
All right, Richard. Anything else before I close this out?
No, I'm sufficiently grossed out. Thank you.
All right. Well, that's all the Bromance have for this show. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Richard.
And I say we eat, if we're starving in the woods, the beaver. Richard,
not drink the milk.
Richard, if I was going to be lost in the woods with anybody and I was going to die of hypothermia, I'd want to die with you.
Thanks, buddy. You know what? Same. But you know what we do? We'd light a fire because, I don't care if it's somebody else's.
Yeah, they wouldn't be singing, "We didn't start the fire."
Yep.
Because we
would totally start the fire.